Hi, welcome back. I have another video for you today looking at another Wargames Atlantic kit from their Deathfields range, which is their sci-fi infantry options that they sell. And these ones are called Les Grognards, and Les Grognards are French Legion French Imperial Guard style greatcoats and a variety of heads to make grenadiers, legionnaires, or World War One French. Actually, also there's some shakos in there too. I'll show you a sprue. They have a whole sprue of heads. It's really nice. So, with their death fields, every box so far has been the exact same. You get this nice white box that gives you some art, and it gives you some examples of what they look like painted. And then it tells you that there are 24 multi-part hard plastic 28 millimeter figures. And like the fantasy ones, these come in at $45 Canadian per box, and with discounts beginning at 3 boxes. I haven't bought any in a bit, so I should admit that I don't know if they've stayed that price. I don't know if they've been hit with any needs to raise prices due to everything that's been going on. The last box I bought from them directly was this one here, and that was like a year ago, I'd say. So yeah, exact same layout of a box as the skeletons. You get to the back, and you get a story, and then you get some more example photos. The story with Deathfields, this is an in-house skirmish sci-fi game they're working on. As far as I know, nothing has been released that's official, but the story to this is that aliens have been coming to Earth for thousands of years, abducting humans, cloning us, and forcing us to fight in a televised intergalactic deathmatch game show, I guess. I don't know what to call it. It's like a American Gladiators, but for like war. I do understand that there will be aliens in there. They do have one kit um, of lizardmen that are fantasy, but I want to say they come with some kind of gun. I've not seen them up close, just the pictures online, but I'm pretty sure they come with a gun, so I think there is an option for aliens to be in this. But right now they have 4 kits, 5 including a spin-off, but they have 4 separate regiment kits. This one here, Les Grognards, are again the French, and they come from a variety of periods of French history of the last like 300 years, 200 years probably, and you get these really cool greatcoats. They have body armor. They have these big hats, or different hats depending on what you want to use. And they have these really cool, like, kind of ornate musket type laser rifles. So the sprues are a little bit different on these ones. The skeletons had that nice stacking. These guys don't. Looking at this, I think I've forgotten about that. The skeletons and one other sci-fi kit, I think, were 2 of the first kits they did. And I think since then they've removed the stacking. So that's a shame. I did like that, but at the same time, it might just be for these guys because these guys are they're special. They are not just one sprue repeated over and over again. There are actually 2 sprues. And I actually am positive that since I bought these, they've redesigned the sprue to work better or something. You still get all the same parts as far as I understand. You'd have to look that up to confirm. Sorry, I'm a little bit dry mouthed right now. I should have brought some water with me. And anyways, each sprue though for the troops are the same. You get 6 of these, and they have 3 bodies per sprue. And then you have a variety of weapon arms and a few heads. You have backpacks, some special weapons, some equipment that go with officers or sergeants. And just, these are amazing pieces for the price. Again, 24 dudes for $45 Canadian. Right now, I want to say with the price hike, the Cadians are going to be $60 for 10. Just as a a really good example for those of us who, like most wargamers do, we play 40k. I'm not saying most people do play it, but that it's the most popular game. I think everybody can agree on that. But they offer much better value for filling out an Imperial Guard option. And they are really cool because the design of the greatcoat and the multiple head options, which we'll go over, or 3D printed or third party bought, whatever, however you want to get them, you can get even more heads, and you can do a lot of different varieties of regiment types with these. The one thing I love about 40k is the Imperial Guard. I have several Imperial Guard armies to represent different regiments using official GW models. I have a heretic force that I've messed with off and on for about a year. Nothing's painted yet. I've just been kind of putting together conversions and things like that whenever the mood strikes me, and one day I'll paint them up. But these guys here, I could use them in the Heretic Army. I could use them with my Vostroyans, or I could 3D print. I actually have 3D printed some World War I German type heads, and I could make myself some, guys who are very similar to the Death Corps of Krieg from the GW line. Again, a kit that's very expensive. The new plastic Death Corps of Krieg are gorgeous models, but it's something like, I want to say $65 or $70 a box last I saw the price. Very expensive anyways. It's not feasible to start a guard army with them. I get that they're supposed to be veterans, so you won't have too many, but a guard army that doesn't have, 5 or 6 squads of infantry, I find is just not a guard army in the same sense of what I'm used to. And so, it'd be too expensive in my mind to start a Krieg army using GW models. Not really much savings from the Forge World ones. But with these guys, you can get 24, spend some extra money to get some heads, and you can make yourself some really nice Krieg. Now, for me, I plan on using these guys probably as a little bit of maybe a conscript option for my Vostroyans, but I also might use them as something else. I don't know, I just bought these because I really like them. There is also a kit of heavy weapons available, because this one here gives you 3 rifles per frame, 1 for each guy, and then you get some special weapons. I do believe you get most options. You get a flamer, a melta, a plasma, and a grenade launcher. You do get some officer stuff. I do not like that they use these little piddly pistols for their sergeants and officers. I wish they had made them a little chunkier, but that's just me. I do like the heroic scale. So it's a minor complaint. They're still nice little sculpts. They're just a little tiny bit piddly in my opinion. Yeah, that's the sprue for the men. The more interesting sprue actually in my mind though is the head sprue. All but 3 of the heads are on here. If you didn't see them, again, I said they were down in the corner here. There are 3 World War I, like Adrian style, I think they're called Adrian style helmets that the French wore with some gas masks. And then over here, you do get 3 more of them. I'm going to change sprues. I do have another one over here. One of the heads have fallen off. You get 3 of the French World War I without gas masks, and that pattern plays out on every single style. Here's your Imperial Guard Grenadier hats, 3 with gas mask, 3 without. Shakos for Imagine Voltigeur, the Voltigeur branch of the Napoleonic era French military. It might be, I'm going to butcher this one. I speak French, but it's a word that I never use. Tirailleur, I forget how it goes, but it's another type of light infantry. Basically, I'm going to call them voltigeur, because it's just a light infantry that skirmished ahead of the line, is my understanding of them. And I know they had big feathers like that on their shakos. And then you get these guys here, and they have those like kind of like French Foreign Legion looking officer caps. And again, gas mask, not gas mask. And you do get a dust cover for those guys. 3 of them per sprue. Each box comes with 6 of these, 1 per frame of infantry, so that every single infantry body can have a hat or head choice that matches the rest of the army. But you also, because you get 3 with masks and 3 without, you can do a really good job of mixing these up. I'm going to move this up a little bit so I can move as well. This kit is amazing. It's just a wonderful piece of it's a wonderful tool for guard players. Anybody who wants sci-fi, but these guys here, I do feel either they're going to be great with death fields or they're going to be great for 40k just because they fit the vibe. They do have others. I have one sprue here that I want to share. I just have to figure out where I stuck it, because it was just here a second ago and I've moved something, and I think I moved him as well. So just give me one moment here. I'm going to pause the video. All right, and I'm back, and I have found the sprue. I just kind of moved it off to the side. These ones here are called the Raum jaegers. These are German troops, I want to say, that were, again, captured. Probably World War II. I think they were like Fallschirmjäger or something like that. And these ones here, slightly different layout. These ones do have the stacking pegs. You get 4 bodies per sprue. These ones here are not single piece. You do get 3 sets of legs that are together, 1 set of legs for kneeling that are split. It's a little bit fiddly to build, but at the same time, once you build 1 or 2, it's pretty simple. Sorry. Then you get 4 bodies. These bodies here, there we go, get them centered. They're really nice. These guys basically look like they've got, like, big heavy duty like dust coats or, paratrooper coats. Very cool when they're all done up. I have one example that I'll show you in just a moment. And then they have these rifles here. They got like a really nice G36 modern assault rifle, like for the German army vibe going on, as well as some special weapons. These guys here get a plasma, a grenade launcher, and a flamer, although actually I think that's more of a light machine gun. It's more like an MG42. I think that's all that's on there. Yeah. And they've got arms for a sergeant. Once again, they do have a very small handgun for the sergeant right there. I mean, it's just personal preference. The guns are a little small. I don't mind it on the rifles or the special weapons, but I find it's just the pistols are very small. I really wish they were just a bit bigger. But in the grand scheme of things, for the price, because again, 24 dudes, $45, it's always the same with them as far as I can tell. Unless they, give you more models. There's never a case of it's 45 and you get less than 24. The skeletons, you get 32. There's halflings that I think get you 40 models, and they even have a historical kit that I want to say is 60 models for the same price. So these guys offer a great variety of kits and at a really great price. And the sculpts are really nice. I mean, they might not match up to some of the most modern and highly detailed GW kits, but at the same time, these are just infantry. These are really nice infantry that give a good variety. And here's your head options. They've got these helmets and masks. They've got some field caps. Just pretty cool. There's one dude over here. He's kind of like I don't know, like the Wolfenstein guy or something. It's kind of how he looks to me. But yeah, these are great kits too. These ones here. Now again, the Grognards, they do have a heavy weapon box set. These guys were the first ones out. They still do not. I really wish they did, because I actually think, as much as I love the Grognards, these guys here are kind of more useful for mixing and matching bits in some ways. I did say that the Grognards are like really great for it, but I think these guys might even be better the more I'm looking at them, because I am remembering how much I've done working around with these guys, just messing with them. So yeah, here's one guy just from the box, painted up with contrast paints, nothing special, but just to show off just a painted one that I did when I first got these guys. And away he goes. Didn't hold that very well. There we go. Yeah, like, he's cool. He's a great model. I could use this guy in a like sort of near future milsim kind of game. I could use this in the like this, what is that, Star Wars Legion? I think that would fit pretty well. It's just a generic rebel or, you know, enforcer type guy. I think these would also fit really well in fantasy 40k for chaos or gene stealer cults. Just anything where you want kind of a light to medium infantry unit that doesn't look like it's part of the Imperial Guard. I think this is a great little kit. Lots of cool little details. There are some pieces you have to stick on certain models, but for the most part it's all sculpted. You just slap on a head and some arms, put the body and the legs together. Yeah, it's a cool kit. I like this a lot. And the reason I like them, the reason I liked them a lot at the start was that I thought I could do something with them. And I started making a little Tallarn force with some, I want to say Mad Robot Mint. Oh, sorry, not him. This guy. And there's one more somewhere. Here. Just 5 little dudes I made using third-party heads. They're, I think, a pretty good approximation of a Tallarn force. I did use mostly GW parts after the bodies and then the heads. I did try one guy with their own rifle, and he's fine. There's nothing wrong with that as well. It's pretty cool, actually. So I think both options would work. But yeah, if you wanted to make some Tallarn with these guys, or some Steel Legion, or again, just like generic cultists or whatever with these, I think they're a great option. It's one of the reasons I really wish they would get the heavy weapons set out for them. They've talked about it. It's not like off the table. It's just, I think that they've had a lot of runaway success that they just can't keep up with the demand for things that people want to see. And as much as I want to see the heavy weapons, not everybody does, and they're a business, so they have to follow what the majority of people seem interested in. The other options, if you are interested in these guys, they have a sci-fi Viking set, and they're very much a little bit shorter, a little bit squatter, you might say. You've also got a very generic sci-fi spacesuit kind of unit. You know, they've just got like jumpsuits, big zippers, and they're called the cannon fodder. They're like basically in this world they're creating. They're like the dregs of all the teams that are like not worth keeping. So the team managers ditch them, and they just kind of get put together on these cheap suicide teams that are thrown up at, you know, better teams that are more coherent. And they just have a really generic look to them. There's nothing special about them. They do come with some like bomb collars, like they're prisoners as an option. I want to say there's like a space helmet option, but that might have been just a conversion someone did. Anyways, they're pretty neat. I forget the name of the Viking ones. Einhager or something like that. You'd have to look it up on their page. I've not seen them in person, any of the others. They do have one more coming. It's going to be the Space Brits. It's going to give you red coat looking guys with some pith helmets, some World War One British Brody helmets. I think there's some field caps. And there might be one more type of head. I forget. But, oh, I think it's more of not a field cap as much as it's like a dress cap. So these guys here offer really great options if you're an Imperial Guard player or interested in playing Imperial Guard army, but can't afford a large one from GW and know that nobody's going to care if you buy third-party bits or kits. So this is definitely an option a lot of people should be looking at if they're interested in the Imperial Guard as a second or third army. They have their main army that they can take to the big tournaments if they want to, or the stores. And then they have this army that they can just play with their friends so they can enjoy another army and not break the bank. So that's where I'm going to stop this video. It's long enough. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if you have any thoughts or suggestions, just leave them down in the comments. And thanks very much for watching. Have yourselves a great day.